Alright guys, I'm back again with another training related video. This one is a question that I got from this guy's name is, just call him Vince because this is kind of a long name, but he asked a question on I just posted a video of me doing a set of max OT power squats and single leg press. He asked a pretty good question, and this is something that I know the training once or twice a week, what's more optimal, what's better, I know that's been done to death, but a lot of the information that they give out there, some aspects of it are often overlooked. So I just want to, give my 2 cents. I know you guys ask me a lot of questions. I never really do fitness related stuff just because I've been doing this so many years. I kind of sick of talking about it all the time, but figured I'd put my 2 cents on this one and see what you guys think. Take it for what it is, take it for what it's worth, and if it helps you get some better ideas as to why it might work or might not work for you as far as training once or twice a week, that's great. But I'm just going to share like my experience with it, because I've been training excuse me, this September will be 22 years that I've been training, so I've been through a lot. I can call myself a veteran bodybuilder at this point because I've been in this shit for a long time. All right, so he noticed that I'm a big advocate of max OT, which I absolutely love max OT training. We'll get to that. But sounds like from what he says, he's been trying max OT. He's been getting stronger that month that he's been doing it. So he's been training a total duration of 2 years. And let's see here. Blah 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 blah. Doing a 3-way split, 6 days a week, so every muscle group gets trained twice a week. My thoughts on it, as far as this is something that a lot of people don't ever can take into consideration when they're building a training program, is what they do for a living, because that will definitely impact your recovery and how you're capable to recover and grow from it. Now me, for example, I've been doing construction, skilled trades ever since I got out of high school. So pretty much when I graduated, I was right into swinging a hammer, doing demo work. I started learning how to hang drywall. I learned how to finish. That's what I've been doing for the past 13, 14 years, whatever it's been now. So I'm a drywall finisher. I paint as well. I wheel out boats with my buddy. So I do a lot of physical labor, and I have my whole life. I've even done roofing. I've done just about every skilled trade, so you can only imagine how much work my shoulder, my back, going up and down ladders, my legs, just everything gets a lot of work. So somebody like myself, it's optimal, and I learned that later on in my bodybuilding career, that once a week was perfect for me. That was the ideal way for me to set up my training splits, because I was able to recover from it. Anytime that I tried twice a week training, higher volume, higher frequency, I would just get completely destroyed, and I just could not recover from it. So now one thing about that is, back when I was younger, I was able to, because obviously when you're younger, you can't handle the same workloads, the same kind of weights that you're throwing around. Like for instance, when you start bodybuilding, you're probably squatting a plate on each side, 185, whatever it is. You're not as strong as when you get older and you keep pushing at it, keep trying to progress and grow, and all of a sudden you're squatting 405, 495, whatever it is. That's going to take a lot. Your body's going to take a lot more of a beating from that, as opposed to when you were in your infancy of training, where you just been you weren't nearly as strong as that. So I think that's something that you got to think about too, which I was able to get away with a little more frequency and that kind of stuff for my early years of training, obviously, because I wasn't as strong as I am now. But the other thing is, like I mentioned, with what you do for a living. Now, somebody who's got like a office scenario kind of job, where they just sit in a cubicle, they're on a computer, that's a very sedentary job. So you really, somebody like that could probably get away with twice a week, and it'd be a lot more optimal for them. But somebody like myself, it's so much wear and tear that anytime I try to do it, I just get completely beat up. Now, some people would say, "Oh, why don't you back off on the heavier weights and do more moderate weight?" I've tried that too. It's just that much extra repetition that I'm already getting at my day job just ends up getting into my joints, and my elbows, ligaments, everything just gets completely fried. And then on top of it, when I train with higher rep ranges, my body, my muscles tend to flatten out. I don't hold the, I guess I don't maintain glycogen as good as some other people. That's just how I am. So since I've learned that Max OT and why it works so good for me is because I'm a low volume, heavier weight kind of guy. That's what just how I respond the best is. And actually, now that I'm 36 years old, I've been finding that I got to cut down the volume even more. So, I used to do I do like the higher end Max OT for bigger body parts that requires like 6 to 9 total working sets for, a bigger muscle group like back or legs or something like that, chest. So I've actually been cutting down to, like the more of like the 6 total working sets for chest and for back, and go from there and see if that helps me, because a lot of times less is more for me now that I'm getting older, and some of those exercises I'm getting stronger on. So that's like my little experiment with Max OT at this point. So I'm still, as I'm getting older, everything's just starting to feel more and more beat up and falling apart. I mean, if you guys look at my elbows, you can tell that I've been lifting heavy weights for a long time. I got these really pointy elbows, and I never had that when I was younger. Like if I were to pull up my high school picture, you wouldn't see that in there. Just over time, these have just gotten bigger. So, and then the other thing too that I try to do is pick exercises that aren't as taxing on my joints. So, back when I used to do those skull crushers and a lot of those exercises where it's going directly in the elbow, I no longer do those anymore. Deadlifts I don't dabble much with anymore either, just because I got to make a paycheck like everybody else once we get into our adulthood. And you show up to your job one day and that boss don't give a shit what you deadlifted the day before, how much you squatted. They could care less. They want to know if you can get to the job and make money for them and make money for yourself. And if you can't, you hit the road and they find somebody else to replace you. And yeah, you got to think about these other things too when you're a bodybuilder, and you obviously want to keep pushing yourself, because that's how you grow, that's how you progress. So it's just trying to work that balance out between pushing yourself but not pushing yourself to where you have an injury and you end your bodybuilding career. So these are some of the things to think about. That a lot of these studies too, that where they have tested people to see if once or twice a week training was more optimal. It's kind of loose with how much information we have on that too. Like, we don't know what their day jobs were, if they were construction workers or if they were office people or anything else that they did in their everyday life. You don't know that person's situation. So that's kind of where you kind of have to figure this all out on your own. That's why they say, you got to find what works for you, and that's 100% true. So I hope this video helped you guys. If you guys have anything to add to it or have any other questions on anything else fitness, bodybuilding related, let me know in the comments section. And I always appreciate you guys watching, so take it easy. Have a good one.